10.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 10. This week we have on the amazing Bastette. Caroline, I believe we've got on from Bastette.
Yep. We're getting Caroline on from Bastette. Bastette are I found them on Facebook. That's how we found them. But I think I've seen them live. I think that's why I've got them on Facebook. But they're on Spotify and all those places. They've got some really good quality songs on Spotify. And I think, did you listen to them on iTunes?
Yeah, I got them on Apple Music, and it's like Florence and the Machine meets Hailstorm.
Yeah,
it makes something really cool.
Because I love Hailstorm as well, and also there's like a dash of Pretty Reckless in there.
Yeah,
I think so. Bastette. So we're getting Caroline on, who is the front woman of Bastette. They describe themselves as being rock pop. She's from Blackburn, Caroline Eve Kenyon, and they only started in 2019, dude.
Well, only started in 2019 as they are right now.
Yeah, but
Caroline's been going since. I'm just looking at Spotify.
Yeah, singer-songwriter for years, I reckon.
I'm sure I read 2009 somewhere.
Yeah. So she's probably been in loads of different bands, which I'm sure she will mention to us at some point.
Sure she will.
During our chat. But yeah, in fact, it even says draws inspiration from Hailstorm, Pretty Reckless, and a powerful voice reminiscent of Florence and the Machine.
God, I'm good.
Her music has swagger, delivers her music with swagger and panache. I love that. Swagger and panache.
Who's sponsoring the show this week? It can be I can't think of anyone funny.
Sponsored by.
It's not Raid Shadow Legends again. We fell out with them.
No, it can't be Raid Shadow Legends.
No, they weren't that good. We
Sponsored
discovered
by.
Nobody actually plays Raid Shadow Legends. World of Tanks.
World of Tanks. That's it. If you like tanks like we do, as we discuss them regularly, and you like an RPG world, you'll love World of Tanks.
You will love World of Tanks. Caroline is in the lobby. Should we get her on?
Get her in.
This week we've got Caroline from Bastette on. Hi, Caroline.
Hi.
Hello. Welcome to Band for Life. Are you excited?
Oh, I'm excited. Thank you for having me.
No problem.
Fucking excited. Are you? What the fuck?
I don't know why I said that. I don't know why I said that. Like, are you excited? Like,
I just want to geek out a little bit for a sec. You were supposed to be gigging with Marisa and the Moths. Did I see correctly?
Oh, yeah. I've done a couple of gigs with Marisa and the Moths. And I also did a live stream with them in September last year. Actually, I went down to Reading and did this live stream when we were allowed to do things like that. You know what?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was really good. I love Marisa and Liam. They're great.
Yeah, no, it's cool because I know them not through Sophie Lloyd, but I knew of Sophie Lloyd first and then discovered Marisa and Lloyd. So I thought it was pretty cool, that.
Yeah, I was due to do a gig with them at the Waterloo, but nobody knows what's going ahead with that now.
Yeah, nobody knows what's happening with anything.
Exactly. Because they've moved the tour twice, and I wouldn't be surprised if they move it again, which it's to be expected in this climate at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
I make for things, whatever we can do.
We've had a couple of bands on who've done virtual gigs, or they've done with where they've been filmed doing it and then it's gone out on like a Friday night or something, or they've done it completely live. Have you done anything like that at all, or have you been approached?
Yeah, I've done some acoustic gigs. So I've done quite a few acoustic live streams, and I just do it on Facebook, and they go down really well. But we are actually planning to do a live stream where we're going to the Waterloo over the next few weeks, and we will be doing a live stream, but we've not got a definite date for that yet. So
yeah.
We are trying to think, what can we do, and let's just make the best of a bad situation. So that's
pretty much what the bands we've had on have kind of said, haven't they? They've kind of been they've been like pushing. Some of them have been recording, haven't they? In the like doing home recordings with the time and stuff. Some of them are doing like kind of demos and stuff to kind of pass the time and because we're discussing. In fact, we're discussing the last one. We're discussing how we could have like a virtual band practice, but with the latency, it just be like an absolute
it's a mess.
I don't think that would.
Yeah, it's just not worth it.
No,
it's not good. Like, but Pete, you managed to kind of sway it, haven't you? You practice every other Thursday.
Well, I'm in a tribute band, so we kind of managed to swing it so that we were like, yeah, we're semi-pro, so we get paid and we can't do this from home.
Yeah.
So we've actually got a studio that'll open for us.
Oh wow.
So yeah, every couple of weeks I manage to get out at the moment, but only down the rehearsal studio.
Yeah. Well, there's we've got a rehearsal studio that we rehearse at, and that's pretty good. The thing is, like, people can look at musicians and go, oh, that's not a proper job. Well, if that's what you do is your main source of income, that is your job.
Yeah. Well, even if it's like second, third source of income, it's still
earning your money. You like.
Yeah.
I don't really like the fact that there's some people out there who are like, it's not right that you're allowed to rehearse. Well, you should be allowed to rehearse because that's where you're going to make money. If you're doing a live stream, for instance,
you
like
rehearse for it.
And you're hiring out a venue or whatever, got to rehearse for it.
Yeah. Well, with our mindset is we've got to get ready to hit the ground running, because as soon as pubs open back up again, it's going to be flat out non-stop.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. This is the time, isn't it? This is the time. Get your set right as you can.
This is like, and the thing is, it does my head in when we're talking about people who are like, oh, how come you're allowed to rehearse? It's just music, or whatever. It absolutely does my head in, people like that, because I think it's people who aren't like living their dreams, so they just enjoy kind of throwing it back at people like, oh, yeah, you shouldn't be allowed to do that because I'm not allowed to do this, and it's like, well, if that's your life and the way you play it, then that's up to you. But I hate people like that. It does my head in with people like, oh, you shouldn't be allowed to do that, because music, people don't get that if you're not, that you can still earn money from music even if you're not like Ed Sheeran. Do you know what I mean? I feel like they think there's no in between when there's loads of in between.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, the in between is 90% of the industry.
Exactly.
So yeah. I don't make much off music, but it pays a few bills.
Yeah.
Buys me a few toys. Most of it goes on gear.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So you've only been going since it says in your Spotify bio, you've only actually been going as this outfit since 2019.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you've been singer-songwriting for years before, I'm assuming.
Oh yeah, I have been through every single genre and style you can imagine, trying to find what it was that I kind of wanted to go into, and I kind of went full circle. Started off in like quite a heavy rock band, and I've kind of gone full circle back to that. It's not quite as heavy. There's a bit more pop influence in there, but it's still rock.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like Florence and the Machine meets Hailstorm.
Yeah.
That's what I got from it.
He actually called that, because he said that to me when I said, oh, I've got this Bastette on. He said, oh, it's like Hailstorm versus Florence. And then when I looked at your bio, it actually said that.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, like he didn't read it before, and I was like, no way.
Yeah, everybody. I think it's my voice. People think is a bit Florency.
Yeah.
Was that what it was?
Yeah, I think it was your voice was a bit flowy.
I was classically trained when I was younger, so that's the influence, I suppose.
Well, I guess it gives you a good leg up, that.
Yeah, it was a bit of a strange one, because I've kind of retrained myself to sing rock music, but because my voice naturally kind of sits singing opera, really, singing classical. But yeah, that wasn't where my heart was.
Yeah, I can see that. As well, it's like I've always said that I always thought girls made better frontmen than guys in rock bands. Always.
Oh wow.
But I've always, because I'm a sound engineer as well, I've always found it difficult to mix for girls.
Why?
But you seem to have like a kind of power behind it that just pushes through. Either that or it's been really, really well mixed. But I'm gonna go with the power thing.
Yeah, no, I do have a big voice. Sometimes I think, oh, you pushed it a little bit too much there, and just reel it back in.
Oh, more is better.
Yeah, give it the welly. I've done sound engineering as well, same as Pete, and it was just in like a small pub in Stockport. Most of the work I did, and yeah, it is sometimes different when you've got a female who's fronting. It's a completely different kind of live mix sometimes because the different dynamic range in the voices and stuff. Often they don't sing as loud, in my personal experience. So you've got to push more monitor, push more volume and stuff, and different frequencies. Whereas, yeah, I think if I was mixing you live with that voice, I don't think I'd have to push it as much. Like, I think it'd be like, no, it's fine. Don't have to push any more volume.
Straight over the top of the mix. Not an issue.
Yeah, I'm missing gigs, guys. I'm missing them.
Well, what? Yeah. How many gigs have you done as this outfit then?
Oh, you're gonna laugh when I tell you this. 13.
Oh,
oh,
that's not the least.
Yeah, as Bastette, I did a lot of gigs beforehand, but as this outfit, 13. Because I had, when I first launched, I didn't actually have a band. No. It was just me. I'd recorded a load of songs with a guitarist and a producer, and I was like, right, going for it now. Found my sound. Oh, I thought I had it. It's always developing, isn't it? Changes.
Yeah.
And I started releasing on the 1st of March, and then I brought in a load of musicians that I knew, like that were friends, or like, have you heard of the Sex Pistols?
No.
No.
But...
They're like a punk tribute band.
Yeah.
But all female. And I know the bassist really well. So she came and filled in and did maybe 4 months with me just to kind of get off the ground. No, maybe a bit longer, 6 months. And I brought in a few of my mates here and there, but each time it was like swapping musicians. So there was no consistency, and I was like, this is too like stressful. This is too stressful. I need like a band who want to be a band, who want to kind of do it with me and are prepared to kind of do the extra things, because that's what it's about, isn't it? It's not just turn up, plug in and play. There's a lot more to it. But I managed to get like a few decent gigs in through that 6-month period, and then had like a January, didn't have any gigs last year, and I was recording actually some of the songs from the new EP that are coming out this year. Yeah. And I had a couple of gigs in February and March, and then it just like shut off, like the world shut down, didn't it?
Yeah. This time last year, I had a full calendar of amazing gigs.
Oh God!
I didn't get to play any of them. It was going to be like the best gigging year of my life so far.
Yeah.
And every single one just got one after the other, just got cancelled.
Yeah, the world just went, nope.
Yeah. Fuck you. You feel like you've made it, and now you're done. Bye.
Yeah. We got booked for a few festivals, and then like they got moved to September, and I'm thinking, I'll be back up and running by September.
Yeah.
Everything. It's gonna come back. No, it didn't come back. In fact, we went worse, didn't we? After they let us loose in July.
Yeah, it got bad. We had a couple in the middle of the lockdowns that were quite good, but
no, I did one with a band called Empire. Me and the guys did a couple with Massive Wagons. I don't know if you've heard of them.
Yeah, we know Massive Wagons. Well, we used to know Massive Wagons really well. They used to play them all the time.
Before they were as they were still kind of big, but before they were as big as they are now. They played in this pub in Stockport. So Pete's mum used to run a music pub in Stockport, where there'd be music on 5 nights a week. You know, there'd be jazz night, there'd be originals night, there'd be covers night, blah, blah. And Massive Wagons came and played under Leaf Promotions a few times.
Yeah, I've played with Leaf Promotions.
Oh, you know, John, we've got an interview with John. One of our videos is an interview with John.
I think I saw that. Yeah, I think I saw that. I did. We're talking to, I think, 2015, because I was in a different band. Yeah.
It was in the Bakers. You might have had me as Sal.
You may have even met us before.
Yeah, I might have.
Yeah. Oh, Massive Wagons. Yeah. So you've been supporting them as well. That's awesome. They've done really well for themselves as well. We've got to get them on.
Top 10 albums and stuff.
Yeah, they got number 9. It was. Yeah, amazing.
That's pretty. Just for any rock band to make it that high nowadays is pretty incredible.
I
remember they played Bakers, and I was like, these guys are really good. Like, they were playing in this tiny pub,
the energy.
Yeah. If it's still the lineup, they were fucking mega.
I think one of the guitarists has changed, but apart from that, one of the guitarists changed in 2017.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't have seen him since then.
Yeah, so. Yeah.
But I feel like it sounds like it was snowballing until the world shut down though. Like you had your 13 gigs, but it sounds like you were gonna have so many more lined up. Then the summer, the festivals.
Yeah, I was like ready to go. I was like, come on, like so ready to just gig. I was planning and ready and had festivals booked and but actually in some respects, like the first lockdown was good for me in some ways, as I'm sure it was for other people, because you kind of like I had time to write, and I also got over my fear of the acoustic guitar and playing in front of people.
Yeah.
And I just because I had no other choice. It was either sink or swim.
Yeah, I feel as well like it's not going to be starting from scratch again. I think it's going to be just pick up where you left off now.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, I have gained more fans over the past year, which is like a really, really good thing. And I think the musicians and the people that have like tried to keep going through this, it is like just like walking through cement, isn't it? It's like really like so slow, but you are actually making progress. You're making more progress than you think you're making if you keep going. Do you know what I mean?
I think in some ways it's been quite good, because a lot of people have been like sat at home with nothing to do, just scrolling through Instagram or whatever.
Yeah.
So I've noticed that like even old bands that we've got that are defunct now, between me and Grainger, are still getting new likes and stuff on Facebook.
Yeah.
And Instagram, and we've not been active for like 5 years.
Yeah.
And people just turn up on there.
Yeah.
You're like, wow.
People got nothing to do, so they're just there like, oh, new bands, we'll check them out. Like,
they're just liking anything. So I think in some ways it's actually worked out kind of better, but obviously without the gigs.
Yeah, well, gigs are like the main source of gaining fans, and also you sell more merch at gigs and stuff like that, don't you? So, and obviously as a musician, as musicians, we live to play.
Live music in front of people, real life people.
Exactly. It's just the buzz, isn't it?
That's it, exactly.
I can't remember who said it, but I heard someone say once that they travel to gigs for the money and then they gig for free. That's the way they do it.
That's the way they see
That's the way they think of it. They're gigging for free. They get paid to travel.
Yeah.
So on gigs then, what would you say your best gig has been for whatever reason you decide? It could be the fans, it could be the sound, it could be a number of reasons. And also, something I wanted to mention, actually, I just remembered, it explains your videos now as well. When you said you had a bassist from a different band and then you needed a solid band, because when I looked through some of your live videos, I was like, you've got loads of different members. I was like, there's a female bassist, and there's a different bassist, and there's a keyboard, and there's somebody else. So that kind of makes sense now as to why I was going to ask you that anyway, but you kind of explained it before I asked you, which is great. So you had like different members and stuff. But yeah, what would you say is some of your kind of standout gigs?
We did a gig just before lockdown with Marisa and the Moths in Nottingham, and the crowd were just absolutely great. It was packed, and they were into it. Like, Marisa and the Moths were headlining, and like they've like completely spiraled, haven't they? They've like got all this like hype, and they're doing amazing. But they'd never played Nottingham before. But they'd released their album, and they were plugging it, and so they put like a lot of promotion into like the gigs and stuff, which it obviously works because they packed out the place, and I was supporting them with my band at the time, and just the energy in the room. And then afterwards we all went and got drunk, and we're dancing to Alana Miles and Hard and Pretty Reckless, and I was like controlling the DJ, and then we had to drive all the way back home. Thankfully I was not driving.
Designated driver.
So that was a really, really good gig. And I was like, this is what I should be doing. Like, this is great. I'm at home. Do you know what I mean? And then bang, world stopped.
Done. Yeah, gigs like that are when it all comes together like that and it just clicks. That's what we live for, I think.
Yeah, and I really get on with Marisa and the Moths as well. So like, it's cool to hang out with them, and you know, when you're mates with them. It's not just a band on a bill. You actually make. So
what about so before Bastette, you said you've been in loads of different other bands. Is there any particular moment you can think of, even when you were in another outfit or another band, that was particularly good for some reason?
I don't know. I did a gig. See, we're talking ages ago though as well.
Yeah.
Nothing like really stands out. I did a gig in Preston that was like packed out at the Ferret, and that was like really good gig. But no, I feel like I don't know if I feel like the sound's better as well. You know, like I move my sound, so I'm like, I vibe it more, I like it more. And I feel like at the time as well, when I was kind of gigging round the circuit when I was in Wagons Arena, I didn't really know what I was doing. Like, when you're just young and you're like, oh, I want to do a gig. I just want a gig. I'm going to gig again. Oh, I'll tell you what was good. I met a band they're now called Half Lives, and they're Italian. Right. And when I was in Wagons Arena, I did a few gigs with them, and they were sleeping in their van. And we did a gig with I can't remember what they're called. Another band that I'm friends with the guitarist. I've stayed friends with him. And it was just really, like, you know, when you just get on with people.
Yeah.
They ended up coming back for whatever reason. They must have asked, like, could they have somewhere to stay, basically. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's all right. Come to mine. Yeah, stay at mine. There's like 6 of them. Might have been 7 with the tour manager as well. It's like 7 of them. So I bring back all these Italians to my house, and my mum and dad. I'm 20 years old at this point. And my mum and dad are like, all right, okay, right. I just like chucked them all in the lounge. It was like August, really hot. Chucked them all in the lounge. We're all like talking to them. Woke up in the morning. We're all sat outside with guitars jamming, and I think we had like croissants and stuff, and just I don't know what happened. It was like the most random thing ever, but it was great.
That's mega.
Yeah, it sounds good. That.
Pardon?
To say, like, it was great. Like, I could just imagine this like scene of like just like croissants being passed around while people are playing, you know, just like having a bite and then carrying on.
No, it was good. It was really hot, really warm as well. So I don't know why that sticks out in my memory. That was a good one. That was good fun. Your
parents must be so, like, what's the word now?
Say if I turned up
relaxed
with like 7 randoms to my mum and dad's house, she'd have been like, fuck off.
I know.
Like, 7 randoms with an accent as well, like, you know.
No, looking back on it now, I'm like, how did I get away with that? How did that happen?
Yeah, that's pretty cool, that.
Just like, I brought some friends back. This is like Luciano, and
Well, they were all really nice. It's a good job that they weren't like weirdos, isn't it?
yeah. You never know in the band circuit, do you? You never know you're going to come across.
I know.
Come across some fucking lunatics.
Just a few. So what about what about any gigs where you may not have had any, but any gigs where for whatever reason something didn't go to plan, or you had some weird fans, or somebody said something weird, or something happened on stage, or the sound wasn't quite right, or anything that kind of, for whatever reason things just, and you can think across your entire, I mean, obviously Bastette, but you've only done 13 gigs. So maybe something from your past as well. Like me and Pete in particular, when we were younger, when we first started, that's when all the crazy shit happened to us.
Yeah, we weren't really old enough to appreciate it then.
No.
I miss it.
I miss being 18.
Bad. We're talking bad stuff.
Or weird, or strange, odd, bad. Guitars falling apart on stage. Somebody throwing a pint of beer.
Well, I used to gig a lot in a gay village. And I was doing acoustic stuff at the time, but like I was going through a where am I at stage with music type deal. But I kept kind of gigging, and run by a very flamboyant gay man, and I absolutely love the gays. I don't know if that's PC or not, sorry.
It's fine, don't worry about it. No, we're right.
I have a lot of gay friends. Like most of my close friends are gay or fag hags. Do you know what a fag hag is?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm quite an over the top, like flamboyant kind of character. And I went to do this gig, and he had a few pubs, this promoter. Went to do this gig in Ashton-Under-Lyme. And I have been in some dives in my time of gigging, as I'm sure everybody has, but my God, this pub just took the biscuit, if you know what I mean. It was just like, I walked in and my sister was with me. My sister's like, she don't really go in dives, let's put it that way. If she could choose not to, she wouldn't do it. Do you know what I mean? She'd rather go somewhere nice, which is fair enough, totally understand that. Anyway, walked in, and it could have been like a heroin crack den. It was like, my sister was like, I'm not sitting down. She was like, I am not sitting down. It was the most like unclean, like dingy, dark, like horrible little pub you could have ever gone in. And yeah, I did the gig and then left like promptly and was like, right, get me out of here. And he actually, the promoter, like a lovely guy, and he asked me to do it again, and he was like, right, I'll pay you, and he was paying me to do it. And he asked me to do it again, and I was like, no, it's not worth it. It's not worth it to do to like 3 drunk guys at the bar, and like, oh God, no, that was like not.
It wasn't upstairs, was it, by any chance?
I don't think so. No, I feel like it was downstairs.
We did one in Ashton, but it was upstairs, and it was fucking hanging. It was a great gig, but it was hanging.
What's it called?
I can't remember. I couldn't tell you. It was one of our last ones with the last band me and him were in together.
Yeah.
That was next to a curry house, wasn't it?
I can't remember. It was
I'm pretty sure
a
we
massive
played
Sainsbury's or something.
I'm pretty sure it was above a curry house. I'm pretty sure we played above a curry house at that one. I'm pretty sure. I've played Ashton a few times, and I'm wondering if I've come across this particular pub, because there's a high likely I may have done, possibly. I don't know. Was it very small? Like very small?
It wasn't big. Yeah.
Very small area to play, like very small area. May have played there. I don't know if it's one I'm thinking of in Ashton that was very small, and the bar is kind of directly ahead of you when you walk in. I don't know. It may not be, but
I'll tell you where is good in Ashton is the Witchwood, if it's still going.
Oh yeah, I think it is.
Witchwood.
It was before lockdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's slightly different to how I remember it, but it used to be the place to play in Ashton. It was top.
Yeah. No, I've heard of it. I know a couple of people have played there, but I've never played there myself.
You might like it. To be fair, it's renowned. They have bands. Well, they did have bands on all the time, and they have different nights on, and they're really. It's one of those places where it's a dedicated music, bar, and those places generally are, you kind of know what they're doing more than just a pub booking a band kind of thing.
Yeah, it's quite hard to get in there though. I have emailed them a few times before lockdown.
Are you sure it's going? Oh, okay. To be fair, we've not played there in
years.
Like 8 years or something. But when we did last play there, because our band kind of finished years ago. I'm in a different band now, but Man and Pete's band finished quite a long time ago. But yeah, we did. We played. Was that the Battle of the Bands, Pete, or was that?
I can't remember.
Was that older?
It was a good gig.
Yeah. It's a good place. Yeah. Any others you can think of?
Did one gig last, obviously before lockdown. So I almost feel like I'm saying last year, as in like lockdown hasn't happened and COVID hasn't happened. So before COVID, year before 2019.
Yeah.
Do I dare? Did a gig in Preston, and was working with a guitarist, and he had this camera on his guitar, like filming himself playing. You know how guitarists are,
Yeah, we can be like that.
And he's playing, and he's just getting into it, filming himself playing, and the thing, it looks a bit like a dildo. Sorry.
It's been one of them gorilla grips, I bet, with a GoPro on the end of it.
It was like, what? Yeah, it was just like, what you looked at it and you were like, you look so uncool. Like, why would you do that? And I'm just stood there like, what is going on here? Anyway, he's jumping up and down. He likes to jump. Really energetic guy. Really good. Jumping up and down, really getting into it. Like, yeah. GoPro falls off. Knocks his tuning pegs out, and I mean out, like it was fucking awful. And just as he was about to do a solo,
nice.
So through the solo, it's like completely out of tune. I've got in-ears in, and I looked at my my keyboardist, who's like one of my best mates. Fabulous. He wears a wig and is very, very flamboyant and extra. And I looked at him and I'm like, what's going on? And we're both looking at each other like, because I've got my ears in, so I can only hear like certain bits.
Yeah.
And it was just absolutely awful, like completely out of tune. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, the room was full. It was like a little festival thing. The room was bloody full. And I'm stood there like, why does it have to happen in that, like, section of the song where it is completely needed and you're taking over? You've taken over the song at that point, and it just was, it was dire. Yeah, we moved on, and it was all right. You just get over these things, don't you? But at the time, I was like, I just went, don't fucking use that again.
I love this, because when you started saying it, so the guitarist in my band, he's got one of these dildo-looking things, and we all took the absolute shit out of him when he put it on. We were like, mate, it literally looks like you've just stuck Superman Summers on the end of your guitar. And he was like, yeah, well, and then he changed it. He's now got he doesn't use it often, to be fair. He's used it a couple of times. I don't know, he spent all his money on a GoPro, and I think he's used it maybe 3 times, and he sticks it on the end of his guitar sometimes, and it looks down the strings. But before that, he had this curved looking thing. We were all like, mate, and he jumps around loads as well. And we've had a couple of occasions where it wasn't because of the GoPro though. It's because we've got a song, we don't even play it anymore because of this reason, where he had to literally change guitar, and he's got a guitar in this weird tuning just to play this one song. We rarely play the song anymore, because if just one of the strings go out, the whole song sounds really out. And I'm one of these where I'm more of a kind of, it's the worst thing to do, but I would rather stop and tune than carry on playing it kind of thing. Like, and it's so difficult to, it's like some people like the song's got to go on, but I would rather not hear it like that. I would rather just like drop to bass and drums even and vocals and not hear that than hear something actually. And that's just me though. Some people are like, oh, you know, got to crack on. But
I agree with you on that.
It's cringy, isn't it? Like, so I can imagine you've got your in-ears in and you can imagine your face just like.
Well, yeah, I don't think I looked at him. I looked at my bass Callum and I was like, what is going on?
You can tell, can't you, when you've got that look on stage where you look at somebody, you're like, you got.
Yeah.
It's like,
but thankfully nobody else, like the audience don't seem to see like that, but might hear that the guitar was that out of tune that it was really, really upsetting actually.
It was just jazz. That's what it was. It was a bit of atonal jazz.
Oh, I'm not into jazz. I'm going to be
no,
not my thing.
No.
Oh no. Yeah. So there you go. There's a top tip for guitarists out there. Stop fucking filming yourselves, right?
Stop using dildo cam.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Amazing. Have you got any? Because you said you're releasing a new EP or something's coming out soon. Do you want to do a few plugs?
You can find Bastette on www.bastette.co.uk, and there are links to Spotify, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and YouTube. Got some videos out. Go check them out.
We'll pop them in the description below as well.
Oh, Thank you very much.
Check. I know I do this again. We've been told to stop doing this.
Doing this, like
I'm digging holes in the air. Like, what's wrong with it? It's like I'm eating an invisible Chinese meal. Like, what's going on?
Keep doing it. You can't stop.
It's the invisible noodles. They're so nice. Oh, well, thanks so much for coming in, Caroline. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
And hopefully we'll see you again soon, and it'll snowball, and we'll all get to see you at gigs, and we'll get to see you supporting all those bands and all those festivals and all the things, and it'll be brilliant.
Thank you for having me.
See you again soon. Thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye.
That was Caroline from Bastette. That was a good one.
She was nice.
Yeah, she was nice.
She was lovely.
You need to go and check her out if you've not already. She is, well, I say she is. Bastette are incredible. I checked them out beforehand and have since downloaded all that stuff because I really liked it.
It's really good. And I think that's not gonna be the last we hear of them. And I feel like they're just gonna get more and more fans, and Caroline's going to get more and more followers and subscribers, listens, and if we ever get her on again or we get the band on again, I think they'll be in an even better position than they are now. So after lockdown, I can just see them just growing. It's really, it's commercially enough to be listened to by the masses as well. Like I know we like Pretty Reckless and all that. She could be huge. So only time will tell.
Yeah. I think that's all from us this week.
That is. Thank you so much for watching. If you are new here, please consider subscribing. We release 2 videos a week. Band for a Bit on Tuesdays, Band for Life on Fridays, with all the juicy gossip from the grassroots music scene. We shall catch you next time.
See you later.
Goodbye.